Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Grow Leafy with Alethea. Today's video is going to be a fall garden tour. So many of you really liked my summer garden tour, but I wanted to show you my fall garden. It's a little bit scarce. As you can see, many things are out of the garden and I have only planted a few plants. And this was also my first time planting in the fall. Pretty much in the fall, I'm usually getting ready to plant indoors, but decided to plant a few things outdoors. So that's what this tour is going to be about. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. If you like my videos, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and make sure that you share this with others because I'm sure there are other people that can benefit from my learning journey experience as a beginner gardener. So let's get ready for this tour. I'm going to try to do this video as quickly as possible because it's getting dark and sun is starting to set. But this is just a quick look at the complete garden and the enclosure. The reason why I have my garden enclosed is because we have all kinds of animals. We've got raccoons, coyotes, deers, lots of squirrels. As you can see, there are trees everywhere. Of course, beautiful birds, all kinds of animals and rabbits and voles and moles. And so this is just a way for us just to ensure that we do get some of the food. I do plan on planting outside of this garden enclosure as well at some point next year, but that's in development and I'm going to make another video so you can see what it is that we're trying to develop in our area right here in our yard. So, but this video more so just focusing on the garden tour. But I first want to show you this right here. This lemongrass has been so wonderful for us. This is lemongrass. It makes wonderful tea, and that's what I've been using it for. I know that you can use it for recipes and for cooking, but I've been using a lot for making teas. It's just really tasty. It's very calming. It's really nice, and I've really enjoyed it. That is definitely what I'm going to be planting next year again, but that was planted in the spring, but I just want to show you it because it's part of the garden and it's still lasting. So I've got some herbs over here, some feverfew, some sorrel. This was actually something that someone gave to me, sorrel, and then also had strawberries. So I have some things that I planted in the spring that are still there, but I had some strawberry plants. Of course, they're not bearing any fruit right now, but the leaf foliage is just really still full. So continue to plant that for next year. And then here we go. I did plant some turnips, rutabagas right here. And this whole area was a lot more full of foliage, but I went ahead and harvested the foliage and cooked it. And you can eat the greens and you can clip some and then come back again and do it again. But I have not yet harvested yet the actual rutabaga, but as you can see there, I could pick it now, but I'm waiting for it to get a little bit bigger. All right. The next thing are potatoes. So I went ahead and actually planted potatoes from the store. Okay, so what I did is I went to a store and I found that they had potatoes that were just sitting there on their shelf. And so I was like, let me just use that because I could not find anywhere any seeds at all, potato seeds. And so recommendation, if you need potato seeds, make sure that you are getting them in the spring because that's when you're going to find them. You are not going to find them in the fall. And it probably is because they take 115 days to be ready to harvest. And so that's what I did. I actually planted a lot more here, but they did not sprout up. And I'm thinking I planted them way too deep, but, or it could be just the potato, but at least I've got two healthy plants. And then I just recently planted these. I think this was just a week ago. It was bok choy. So those are starting to sprout up. I still have my mint leaves. I have sweet mint and peppermint leaf plants that are still doing me well this season. All right. For the first time I planted carrots, just a few. This is just a sample, all right? So it's not like I'm planting a lot, but so I have carrots that I've planted that are starting to sprout up, and we're gonna see how that goes because I've never planted carrots before. So if you have any suggestions on carrots, I've heard that they're hard to plant, let me know. This bed right here was planted full of beets. It's not doing well, all right? I really do think it's the weather. It still has been really hot here, and I haven't put any kind of covering over it to protect it. I'm trying this year to do it without a covering. Maybe next year I need to do that. But I had a lot of beets when I planted in the spring, and I've had a lot of harvested beets. This is my actually this I tried beets a little bit at the end of the season last year, and it just still wasn't great. So there's something I need to do to change it, but I know it has something to do, I really do believe, with the temperature. My cherry tomatoes, oh my goodness, these are so sweet. They are great. They're still producing a lot. They've been producing since, I would say, July. I've had a lot of cherry tomatoes. They're still doing really great. So there's no need to pull that up. And then peppers. This plant right over here producing a lot of peppers. I have 2 pepper plants that are right close to each other, and there are probably, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe I see about 12 to 15 peppers on this plant. And so that's another reason why I want to make this video, is because I want to show you some of the vegetables that I had on these plants before I harvested them. So over here in this bed and across to that bed is where I planted some squash. I planted Burgess squash. I love Burgess squash. Okay, this is a picture of it. If you've never had it, you need to try it. If you cannot find it in the stores, I would recommend that you grow it. However, it's doing okay. This bed over here, I'm noticing that it's not getting as much, I guess, what it needs to really flourish. This was also the bed that I was having a lot of issues with vine borers and vine borer moths. And so I was also possibly having issues with some fungal earlier this season, and I'm seeing some blight as well on the squash plant. So I'm trying to treat it right now as natural as I can, but using some organic material as well to try and treat it. I hope that it thrives and it does okay, because I really do want to harvest Burgess squash. So I have a few plants here. I have actually 4 in this bed. Some of the leaves, as you can see at the bottom, have been just turning yellow, and I need to cut those off when I get a chance. There, this I need to really tie this up, to give it better support. I mean, they're still growing. More pepper plants over here. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4 pepper plants. So there's another pepper plant over here producing fruit. So those are doing great. And then here is the other Burgess squash plants. There's 2 of them. And see, so I need to tie those up. But can you see down here, under here? See that? I believe that's a fungus. I know it is. And so I need to take care of that. And I can see it back here too. So these are the struggles that we have. I'm trying to be as preventative as possible. Maybe I should have been more preventative in the beginning, right when I planted them, but they are growing. I just don't want the fungus to take over, to take it over. All right. And then the last few things that I planted over here were bush beans. Okay, so I just have 3 plants of bush beans, not very much. I just really wanted this fall garden to be very simple, so I have 3 plants of those, but the one that is producing beans right now is right over here. And so this was my first time planting some bush beans, so I was happy. That surprised me because I did not even notice till I came out today and noticed, wow, there was a lot of beans on that one. All right. And then as well, Down here, I just went ahead and put some bok choy on this side as well. And so those are sprouting, just like the ones that were next to the potatoes. And then I still have Swiss chard growing. Now, these babies have been lasting a very long time because I've been planting, well, I started planting Swiss chard way back in the spring, and these plants are thriving. If you ever want a green that will keep coming again and producing over and over again, and you keep cutting, you keep eating, keep producing, I would say go with Swiss chard, okay? And then actually, let me show you the Swiss chard over here since I'm talking about it. I cut this off completely, but I left it in there. I cut it down to the soil, okay? I did this with all these little ones. And then eventually they just grew back anyways. So if you ever want to plant a green, a leafy green, plant Swiss chard. So that is basically the overview of this garden. The other thing that I would like to plant in here are some chives, possibly onions, possibly some garlic. I just haven't gotten a chance to do that yet, but I do need to, and then maybe even possible another herb. So there's one other thing I want to show you. I was not going to add this into the video, but as I finished up this video and this garden tour, and I heard something fall out of the tree, and I was like, what was that? Maybe it was a squirrel dropping one of the nuts or something, because we have black walnut trees as well. Well, I look over here at this tree. It's a persimmons tree. So when we moved here, we had not realized what kind of tree this was. And then last year we realized that it was bearing this kind of fruit. And so we looked it up, did our research, and we were like, wow, that's a persimmons fruit. So they are ripening. And so here's the first one. And I'm going to try it right here. Hopefully it's ripe, because if not, then it's going to dry my mouth out. Mm. Ooh. Oh, it's so sweet. This is so good. It's good. I just want you to see that. Mm, what a way to end this garden tour. I hope this video was helpful and that there are a few things that maybe that you learned through my beginner gardening journey experience. But like, again, this was my first time planting in the fall. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. And just with gardening, that's just how it is. And we just have to be ready for the changes that come our way. But if you didn't get a chance to plant in the fall, that's okay. You can still maybe even plant something for overwintering, or maybe just get ready for your spring planting. So if you like this video, remember to give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that, and share this video with someone else, and check out my other videos on my channel. But I look forward to seeing you next time, and remember to grow leafy.